I refused to help an American tourist in France after she demanded to speak to the manager. So I'm Australian, and I was visiting my family in France with my mom last month. On our last morning there, my mom was finishing packing and asked me to run down the street to grab us coffee from this little cafe. When I walked in, there was this American woman at the counter yelling at the barista. And I mean really yelling. She was saying super slow and loud, almond milk, almond, my LK almond milk. Like saying it slower and louder would somehow make him understand English better. The poor barista was holding up his phone going, "My phone, just look at my phone," in French. He clearly had Google Translate open, but she wasn't even looking at it. She just kept screaming about almond milk like he was deaf. I walked up and asked the guy in French if I could help since I speak English. He looked so relieved and said, "Yes, please, this has been going on forever." I turned to her and said, "Hi, I speak English. Were you asking if they have almond milk?" She just stared at me with this blank look and went, "What?" I tried again, speaking a bit slower. "Were you asking if they have almond milk in this cafe?" That's when she turned to her husband and said right in front of me, "I know she's speaking English, but I can't understand a word she's saying." My Australian accent. She couldn't understand my Australian accent. I was literally there to help her and she was already annoying me. I really made an effort to speak clearly. "Do you want almond milk?" She finally got it. "Yes, could you tell him that's what I want?" I asked the barista in French if they had almond milk. He shook his head and said they only have regular milk or soy milk. That's it. I turned back to her. "They only have dairy milk or soy." Her face just dropped, like I told her the cafe was on fire. "Seriously? That's it? Coffee shops always have multiple choices for milk. How do they only have two?" I just shrugged because what was I supposed to say? It's a tiny cafe in France, not a Starbucks. Then she hit me with it. "Can you tell him I want to speak to the manager?" I just said no. She looked shocked. "No? No. I'm not going to stand here for 20 minutes while you argue with a manager through me. They have two types of milk. That's it. Pick one." She turned to her husband like I was the crazy one. "What did she just say?" Then back to me. "Tell him I want to talk to the manager." I completely ignored her, turned to the barista, and ordered 2 coffees for me and my mom in French. Then I just stepped to the side to wait. She kept trying to talk to me, asking me to translate, demanding I help her. I pulled out my headphones, put them in, and pretended she didn't exist. The barista made my coffee super fast, probably trying to get me out before she caused more drama. I grabbed them and left while she was still standing there arguing with her husband about the milk situation. When I got back to Australia and told my friends this story, they were split. Half of them said she was being a total Karen and I didn't owe her anything. The other half said she was just struggling with the language barrier and I should have helped more since it wouldn't have cost me anything. But here's the thing that really annoyed me. She wasn't even trying to communicate. She was just yelling the same words over and over at someone who clearly didn't speak English. The barista had a translation app ready. She could have pointed at his phone. She could have used her own phone. Instead, she decided to just be loud and rude. And then when I actually helped her and gave her the answer, she wanted to escalate it to a manager over milk options in a foreign country at a small local cafe. It wasn't about the language barrier. It was about her thinking everywhere should work exactly like home and throwing a fit when it doesn't.